Okay, I want to do a part 2 of the Excalibur Micro 340 takedown crossbow. I've got a video on this where mainly I'm just doing talking and no shooting. Here in just a little bit, I'll include some chronograph footage and some actual shots. But when I got this crossbow, it came in a package and it came with the carry bag, the crossbow, the scope, the quiver. I want to say it was 6 arrows. It may have been 4, but I think it was 6. Cocking string, a replacement string, and then the limb compression jig. All right, so just so we're all on the same page here, I'm going to recite some of this stuff again. This crossbow by itself like this weighs 8.86 pounds. With the quiver attached and 4 arrows, it weighs 9.28 pounds. If you put it in the backpack and have everything in there with it, it weighs about 14.5 pounds. The widest point is 25 inches. When you cock it, it's 21 inches. And the length is 33 inches. It has a power stroke of 9.5 inches. These arrows are 16.5 inches, and they're 353 grains, which includes a 100 grain field tip. Some of the things that I really like about this crossbow is, one, it's a takedown version. So when you take it down, you put it in this backpack, you can see that the pack is not really that wide. So you can sling it across your back. You can walk in, because anyone who's carried a crossbow knows, they're certainly not on the lightest of things. And when you try to sling them on your back, they're not comfortable that way either. And when you do the takedown part of it, there's a blue lever right there. Just pull it towards you, the blue lever. The foot stirrup will drop, and just give it a little wiggle, and the 2 ends come apart. When you put it back together, I like to put it together upside down like this, tucked under my arm, because sometimes if you leave it like this, the foot stirrup will drop back into the lock position, and then you have to unlock it again, which is another whole step. So I just leave it upside down so the foot stirrup's down, slide it over the end, give it a wiggle, pull it up, click it. Another nice thing about this crossbow that I like is it's not light forward, but it's not as heavy as some of your traditional compound crossbows. So it just doesn't have quite as much weight forward. Makes it really nice to handle in the woods. Another good thing about it is you can decock it without having to fire it. So you can use the cocking rope to decock it when you're done. Really nice feature. And I touched on this a second ago, but having the ability to have a limb compression jig and an extra string with you, it's probably unlikely, but it certainly could happen where you're somewhere on a trip and you ding your string and you need to replace it. It's so nice to know that you can use a jig like this and you yourself can pop the string on it in probably less than 5 minutes. I've done it before and it's not a big deal. Super easy to do. Something else of consideration on this particular crossbow is the cocking effort. So I want to say, and I've got a video where I did it. I can't remember the poundage right now, but when you use the cocking rope, it cuts it in half. This thing initially, when you cock it, as you pull it, you're only going to pull it up to about the height of your pockets. So even though it may have a higher poundage than a compound crossbow to cock, you're only pulling it up to here instead of up to here, where obviously in this range, you're going to get weaker than you are right here. So even though it's a little bit heavier on the initial poundage to cock, it's still not that bad because you're only pulling at a certain distance, or a shorter distance, I should say. When you shoot this bow, it'll get, with these arrows, about 330-ish feet a second. This particular version, the scope is illuminated, and inside the viewing window, you'll see the dots for your yardage, and it has the yardage out there to them. The scope is also adjustable, so you can dial in your feet per second to help with sighting it in, and it shoots really accurate.